Welcome to the SQN Top 10 ranking. For the first time you join in the program, please subscribe to the channel, like, share and comment your opinion with everyone. Today, join us to learn about the top 10 largest snakes in the world. Hope you will enjoy. Now, let's get started. Aora papuana. Aora papuana is a species of python, commonly known as the Papuan python, Irian python or Papuan olive python. It is found in New Guinea. It is the only species in the genus Aora. No subspecies are currently recognized. The Papuan python is a large snake, with adults growing to an average length of 4 meters, 13 feet, and some specimens growing to lengths of over 5 meters, 16 feet. However, they are not nearly as heavy-bodied as most other pythons, typically weighing only about 22.5 kilograms, 50 pounds. The available information about the species size is limited. Papuan pythons are found in most of New Guinea, from Masoul to Ferguson Island. The type locality given is Remois, Nova Guinea Austro-Occidentally, Remois, near Sorong, Irian Jaya, Indonesia. The Papuan python is largely terrestrial and mostly nocturnal. Despite their size and impressive strength, they are relatively inoffensive animals and are not prone to bite even if handled. Their diet consists primarily of smaller mammals, but they are also known to be partly ophiophagous. The Papuan python is not commonly available in the exotic pet trade, and when they are available they command high prices. They are a relatively hardy species that adapts well to captivity, readily feeding in commercially available rats. Captive breeding has been done. Black-spotted anaconda. The anaconda or South American python is a genus of large South American pythons found in tropical South America. 4 species have been recognized. Includes one of the largest snakes in the world. Their extraordinary length can only be slightly inferior to their cousin among reptiles, the Asian reticulated python, which has the longest length among snake creatures. Adults can grow up to 9.75 meters. There have been several historical reports by European explorers of South America describing seeing giant pythons up to 20 meters long. Most of the time, giant pythons swim along rivers to find food. They usually live alone and are quite shy, so they are not often seen in the wild. The black-spotted anaconda is the heaviest snake in the world with a weight ranging from 30 to 70 kilograms. This python was first discovered in 1758. This snake's favorite habitat is water and tropical forests. The average length of this snake is 4.6 meters. Adults can reach 5 meters. Yellow anaconda. The yellow anaconda, Eunectes notaeus, also known as the Paraguayan anaconda, is a boa species endemic to southern South America. It is one of the largest snakes in the world but smaller than its close relative, the green anaconda. No subspecies are currently recognized. Like all boas and pythons, it is non-venomous and kills its prey by constriction. Adults grow to an average of 3.7 meters, 12 ft 1 + 1/2 in total length. females are generally larger than males and have been reported up to 4.6 meters, 15 ft1 in length. They commonly weigh 25 to 35 kilograms, 55 to 77 pounds. But specimens weighing more than 55 kilograms, 121 pounds, have been observed. The color pattern consists of a yellow, golden tan or greenish-yellow ground color overlaid with a series of black or dark brown saddles, blotches, spots and streaks. The range of the yellow anaconda encompasses the drainage of the Paraguay River and its tributaries, from the Pantanal region in Bolivia, Paraguay, and western Brazil to northeastern Argentina and northern Uruguay. The species appears to have been introduced in Florida, although it is unknown whether the small population, thought to derive from escaped pets, is reproductive. In captivity, the yellow anaconda has a reputation for being unpredictable and somewhat dangerous to humans, especially when caught from the wild, leading some professionals and keepers to begin efforts at captive breeding. Central African rock python. The Central African rock python, Python sabae, is a species of large constrictor snake in the family Pythonidae. The species is native to sub-Saharan Africa. It is one of 10 living species in the genus Python, Africa's largest snake and one of the 8 largest snake species in the world, along with the green anaconda, reticulated python, Burmese python, Southern African rock python, Indian python, yellow anaconda and Australian scrub python. Specimens may approach or exceed 6 meters 20 feet. The southern species is generally smaller than its northern relative, but in general, the Central African rock python is regarded as one of the longest species of snake in the world. The snake is found in a variety of habitats, from forests to near deserts. Although usually near sources of water, the snake becomes dormant during the dry season. The Central African rock python kills its prey by constriction and often eats animals up to the size of antelope, occasionally even crocodiles. The snake reproduces by egg-laying. Unlike most snakes, the female protects her nest and sometimes even her hatchlings. The snake is widely feared, though it is non-venomous and very rarely kills humans. Although the snake is not endangered, it does face threats from habitat reduction and hunting. Some cultures in sub-Saharan Africa consider it a delicacy, which may pose a threat to its population. Africa's largest snake species and one of the world's largest, the Central African rock python adult measures 3 to 3.53 meters, 9 ft 10 into 11 feet 7 in total length, including tail, with only unusually large specimens likely to exceed 4.8 meters, 15 ft 9 in. Reports of specimens over 6 meters, 19 ft 8 in, are considered reliable, although larger specimens have never been confirmed. The Central African rock python is found throughout almost the whole of sub-Saharan Africa, from Senegal east to Ethiopia and Somalia and south to Namibia and South Africa. P. sabae ranges across central and western Africa, while P. natalensis has a more eastern and southerly range, from southern Kenya to South Africa. Like all pythons, the Central African rock python is non-venomous and kills by constriction. Documented attacks on humans are exceptionally rare, despite the species being common in many regions of Africa, and living in diverse habitats including those with agricultural activity. Australian scrub python. The Australian scrub python, Somalia kinghorni, or simply scrub python, is a species of snake in the family Pythonidae. The species is indigenous to forests of northern Australia. It is one of the world's longest and largest snakes, and is the longest and largest in Australia. This snake is commonly considered arboreal or tree-dwelling, making it one of the world's largest and longest arboreal species of snakes. This snake has an ornate back pattern consisting of browns and tans, with many different natural variations. Its belly is usually white, sometimes with some yellows. Kinghorni exhibits an unusual sexual dimorphism among pythons. Males are usually a third longer and twice as heavy. Females reach sexual maturity with a snout vent length of about 2.27 meters, 7.4 feet, while males reach sexual maturity with snout vent length of 1.34 meters, 4.4 feet, on Tully, a river about 140 kilometers south of Cairns. 24 adult females were measured. They had an average length from head to body of 2.68 meters, 8.8 feet, and a mass of 3.4 kilograms, 7.5 pounds. In the same place, 80 adult males had an average snout vent length of 2.91 meters, 9.5 feet, and a weight of 5.1 kilograms, 11 pounds. Of these, the largest male had a head-to-body length of 3.76 meters, 12.3 feet, and a weight of 11 kilograms, 24 pounds. Kinghorni and mostly is found in northern Australia, in Queensland and Cape York Peninsula. The species also occurs in several islands of Torres Strait, e.g. Hinchinbrook. On the mainland, its range extends from the tip of the Cape York Peninsula south along the coastal rainforest through the Atherton Tableland, the forested eastern foothills of the Great Dividing Range, along the coast through Mount Spec to the Burdekin River south of Townsville. Indian python. The Indian python, Python malorus, is a large python species native to tropical and subtropical regions of the Indian subcontinent and Southeast Asia. It is also known by the common names black-tailed python, Indian rock python, and Asian rock python. Although smaller than its close relative the Burmese python, it is still among the largest snakes in the world. It is generally lighter colored than the Burmese python and reaches usually 3 meters, 9 ft 10 in, like all pythons. It is non-venomous. The rock python's color pattern is whitish or yellowish with the blotched patterns varying from tan to dark brown shades. This varies with terrain and habitat. The nominate subspecies occurring in India typically grows to 3 meters, 9 ft 10 in. This value is supported by a 1990 study in Cayo Ladeo National Park, where 25% of the python population was 2.7 to 3.3 meters, 8 ft 10 in 10 feet 10 in, long. Two individuals even measured nearly 3.6 meters, 11 ft 10 in, because of confusion with the Burmese python, exaggerations, and stretched skins in the past. The maximum length of this subspecies is difficult to tell. The Indian python occurs in nearly all of the Indian subcontinent south of the Himalayas, including southern Nepal and Bhutan, Sri Lanka, southeastern Pakistan, Bangladesh, and probably in northern Myanmar. It lives in a wide range of habitats, including grasslands, swamps, marshes, rocky foothills, woodlands, open forest, and river valleys. It needs a reliable source of water. Lethargic and slow-moving even in their native habitat. They exhibit timidity and rarely try to attack even when Attacked. Locomotion is usually with the body moving in a straight line, by walking on its ribs. Like all snakes, Indian pythons are strict carnivores and feed on mammals, birds, reptiles, and amphibians indiscriminately, but seem to prefer mammals. The Indian python is classified as near threatened on the IUCN Red List due to a likely population decline of approximately 30% over the decade 2010 to 2020, caused by habitat loss, overexploitation, and lack of conservation actions. Southern Africa rock python. The southern African rock python, Python natalensis, is a large python species native to southern Africa inhabiting savanna and woodland. It was first described by Andrew Smith in 1833, growing a length of more than 5 meters, 16 feet. This is one of the largest snakes in the world. The southern African rock python has a coloration that is similar to its northern relative. However, it is described as being drabber. Below the light stripe on both snake's head, the southern species has a narrower dark patch that resembles a stripe instead of a patch. The Central African rock python, Python sabae, has two prominent light lines from the nose, over the eye to the back of the head, which are much duller in the southern African rock python. The northern species has considerably larger head scales. It is also noticeably inferior in size to the Central African rock python. The Southern African rock pythons reach an average length of between 2.8 and 4 meters, 9 ft 2 in and 13 feet 1 in. Individuals longer than 4.6 meters, 15 feet, are rare. Regarding body length and mass, this species exhibits sexual dimorphism, as females are significantly larger and heavier than males. The largest male was 4.23 meters, 13.9 feet, long and weighed 31.1 kilograms, 69 pounds. There is one reliable record of a living specimen reaching 5.56 meters, 18.2 feet. The longest South African python measured 5.8 meters, 19 feet, recorded in the former Transvaal. Reticulated python. The reticulated python, Malaopython reticulatus, is a python species native to South and Southeast Asia. It is the world's longest snake, and the third heaviest after the green anaconda and Burmese python. It is listed as least concern on the IUCN Red List because of its wide distribution in several countries in its range. It is hunted for its skin, for use in traditional medicine, and for sale as pets. Due to this, reticulated pythons are one of the most economically important reptiles worldwide. It is an excellent swimmer, has been reported far out at sea, and has colonized many small islands within its range. Like all pythons, it is a non-venomous constrictor. In very rare cases, adult humans have been killed, and in at least 3 reported cases, eaten by reticulated pythons. The reticulated python has smooth dorsal scales that are arranged in 69 to 79 rows at midbody. Deep pits occur on 4 anterior upper labials, on 2 or 3 anterior lower labials, and on 5 or 6 posterior lower labials. The reticulated python is the largest snake native to Asia. More than 1,000 wild reticulated pythons in southern Sumatra were studied, and estimated to have a length range of 1.5 to 6.5 meters, 4 ft 11 in to 21 feet 4 in. and a weight range of 1 to 75 kilograms, 2 pounds 3 ounces to 165 pounds 6 ounces. Reticulated pythons with lengths more than 6 meters, 19 ft 8 in, are rare, though according to the Guinness Book of World Records, it is the only extant snake to regularly exceed that length. One of the largest scientifically measured specimens, from Balikpapan, East Kalimantan, Indonesia, was measured under anesthesia at 6.95 meters, 22 ft 10 in, and weighed 59 kilograms, 130 pound 1 ounce, after not having eaten for nearly 3 months. The specimen once widely accepted as the largest ever accurately measured snake, that being Colossus, a specimen kept at the Highland Park Zoo. The reticulated python is found in South and Southeast Asia from the Nicobar Islands, India, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam, Malaysia, and Singapore, east through Indonesia and the Indo-Australian archipelago, Sumatra, the Mentawai Islands, the Natuna Islands, Borneo, Sulawesi, Java, Lombok, Sumbawa, Sumba, Flores, Timor, Maluku, Tanimbar Islands, and the Philippines, Basilan, Bohol, Cebu, Leyte, Luzon, Mindanao, Mindoro, Negros, Palawan, Panay, Palillo, Samar, Tawi-Tawi. Burmese python. The Burmese python, Python bivitatus, is one of the largest species of snakes. It is native to a large area of Southeast Asia and is listed as vulnerable on the IUCN Red List. It is an invasive species in Florida as a result of the pet trade. The Burmese python is a dark-colored, non-venomous snake with many brown blotches bordered by black down the back. In the wild, Burmese pythons typically grow to 5 meters, 16 feet, while specimens of more than 7 meters, 23 feet, are unconfirmed. This species is sexually dimorphic in size. Females average only slightly longer, but are considerably heavier and bulkier than the males. In comparison, length-weight comparisons for males found a specimen of 2.8 meters, 9 ft 2 in, weighed 12 kilograms, 26 pounds. 2.97 meters, 9 ft 9 in, weighed 14.5 kilograms, 32 pounds. A specimen of 3 meters, 9.8 feet, weighed 7 kilograms, 15 pounds, and a specimen of 3.05 meters, 10.0 feet, weighed 18.5 kilograms, 41 pounds. The record for maximum length of Burmese pythons is 5.79 meters, 19 ft 0 in, and was caught 10 July 2023 in South Florida's Big Cypress National Preserve. Dwarf forms occur in Java, Bali, and Sulawesi, with an average length of 2 meters, 6 ft 7 in Bali, and a maximum of 2.5 meters, 8 ft 2 in, on Sulawesi. The Burmese python occurs throughout southern and Southeast Asia, including eastern India, southeastern Nepal, western Bhutan, southeastern Bangladesh, Myanmar, Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam, northern continental Malaysia, and southern China in Fujian, Jiangxi, Guangdong, Hainan, Guangxi, and Yunnan. It also occurs in Hong Kong, and in Indonesia on Java, southern Sulawesi, Bali, and Sumbawa. It has also been reported in Kinmen. It is an excellent swimmer and needs a permanent source of water. It lives in grasslands, marshes, swamps, rocky foothills, woodlands, river valleys, and jungles with open clearings. It is a good climber and has a prehensile tail. It can stay in water for 30 minutes but mostly stays on land. King cobra. The king cobra, Ophiophagus hanna, is a venomous snake endemic to Asia. The sole member of the genus Ophiophagus, with an average length of 3.18 to 4 meters, 10.4 to 13.1 feet, and a record length of 5.85 meters, 19.2 feet, it is the world's longest venomous snake. The species has diversified coloration across habitats, from black with white stripes to unbroken brownish-gray. The king cobra is widely distributed, albeit not commonly seen, with a range spanning from the Indian subcontinent through southeastern Asia to southern China. It preys chiefly on other snakes, including those of its own kind. This is the only ophidian that constructs an above-ground nest for its eggs, which are purposefully and meticulously gathered and protected by the female throughout the incubation period. Given the size of the snake, it is capable of striking at a considerable range and height, sometimes sustaining a bite. Envenomation from this species is medically significant and may result in a rapid fatality unless antivenom is administered in time. Despite the species' fearsome reputation, aggression toward humans usually only arises from an individual inadvertently exposing itself or being cornered, threatened by habitat destruction. It has been listed as vulnerable on the IUCN Red List since 2010. Regarded as the national reptile of India, it has an eminent position in the mythology and folk traditions of India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka and Myanmar. The king cobra's skin is olive green with black and white bands on the trunk that converge to the head. The head is covered by 15 drab-colored and black-edged shields. The muzzle is rounded, and the tongue black. It has 2 fangs and 3 to 5 maxillar teeth in the upper jaw, and 2 rows of teeth in the lower jaw. The nostrils are between 2 shields. The large eyes have a golden iris and round pupils. Its hood is oval-shaped and covered with olive-green smooth scales and 2 black spots between the 2 lowest scales. Its cylindrical tail is yellowish-green above and marked with black. The king cobra has a wide distribution in South and Southeast Asia. It occurs up to an elevation of 2,000 meters, 6,600 feet, from the Terai in India and southern Nepal to the Brahmaputra River basin in Bhutan and northeast India, Bangladesh and to Myanmar, southern China, Cambodia, Thailand, Laos, Vietnam, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia and the Philippines. Thank you for watching the SQN Top 10 ranking program. Remember to subscribe to the channel, like, and share this program for many people to know. See you again in next video. Thank you very much.